Hello everyone and welcome back to Hair and Now. For those of you who are new around here, my name is Courtney Lane and I am a Victorian hair artist, historian, and professional weirdo. Why do I call myself a professional weirdo, you may ask? Why, it's really quite simple. You see, my career revolves around making artwork and jewelry out of human hair. And no, I'm not talking hairstyling. In fact, if hair's still on the head, I won't even touch it. But rather, I use hair as my artistic medium, much like a painter would use paint as her medium. When people learn this, their first reaction is, oh, that's weird. And you know what? I can't really blame them. By today's day and age, it is admittedly a little unusual. Many people alive today have never even heard of hair work, but throughout history, there is an enormous historical precedence for using hair to make artwork and jewelry. And if we were to go back, say, 150 years, my profession would not be considered weird at all. But alas, since we are here in the year 2020, I lean proudly into my title of weirdo. I also find that when you put professional weirdo on your business card, it both lightens people up a little bit and also allows you to get away with being your openly peculiar self, even at boring button-down business events. But once people understand what I do, they often still don't know just why the heck someone would order hair art. So today I'm going to explain 8 different reasons why people commission hair art or hair jewelry. Number 1 may be the most obvious for those of you who are familiar with historical hair practices, and that is mourning. This is the one that can really get people oogled out sometimes because, ew, this is the hair of a dead person. But the reality of the situation is most people would feel differently if it was the hair of their own mother or their own child. Mourning with hair was extremely popular in the past, but today it's far more common for people to keep the cremated remains of their deceased loved ones. It's a very similar concept because whether it's bone fragment or hair, it's still a part of your loved one that you are keeping. I do get memorial orders quite frequently because obviously not everybody even gets cremated, and I've even had some clients tell me that they'd rather see the hair just as it was on the head of their loved one while they were still alive rather than the cremation alternatives. Number 2, family genealogy. Whether the family members are alive, deceased, or some combination of the two, many people, past and present, like to have a decorative family tree or a family wreath made out of the hair of all of their loved ones. Number 3, romance, or any other kind of sentimental love for that matter. You may already be vaguely familiar with the poetic concept of keeping a lock of your loved one's hair. Well, I personally have made anniversary gifts, wedding gifts, Valentine's gifts, you name it. This can be purely a celebration of love because it's certainly not unusual to want to keep a piece of your loved one always nearby, but it can also be a great comfort to people who are long distance from their loved ones. Number 4, parent-child mementos. This is a little more specific than the full-fledged family genealogy wreath, but it's one of the easiest ones for people who are new to hair work to grasp. After all, I think most of us had a parent who saved a lock from our first haircut. Or if you're a parent yourself, perhaps you're the one who's been saving the hair, but unfortunately, a lot of those babies' first haircuts just end up in an envelope, in a box, in the attic, and they rarely get looked at or celebrated. So why not use that lock of hair to make a decorative piece of art or a wearable piece of jewelry? I've also had adult children commission something with their own hair for, say, a Mother's Day gift for mom, or a little less common, parents making something with their own hair to give to their child. Fun fact, Queen Victoria's first piece of hair jewelry was given to her as a baby and contained hair from both of her parents. Number 5, just for fashion. This was admittedly much more common in the past because a lot of people today just don't like the idea of wearing some stranger's hair, but in addition to my custom work, I do sometimes make pre-made pieces using antique human hair. Hair jewelry was popular enough at one point that historically it wasn't unusual for someone to wear it just for the sake of fashion. I even once had an oddities collector contact me about making a decorative dome just because he had always envisioned a cool mantelpiece made out of hair and bone, and he was excited to learn that there was a modern hair artist who could just make whatever he wanted for home decor. Number 6, someone losing their hair due to a cancer treatment or other medical reasons such as alopecia. This is the one reason that I have been commissioned as a modern hair artist that is pretty exclusive to the present. After all, they didn't have chemo and radiation for cancer treatment in the Victorian era. In fact, I will never forget the first woman who came to me just absolutely in tears explaining how empowering it was that she could use this as a way to take back control. She told me that this way she felt like she wasn't losing her hair but transforming it into something new and beautiful, and expressed to me that after her treatment it would also serve as a powerful monument to the struggle she went through during that cancer treatment. And as someone who has never been through a cancer treatment myself, I cannot even imagine how difficult that was, but to hear her explain to me just how meaningful hair work could be to her and how meaningful my work could be to her, it was just really something special. And the historian in me who was thinking back to Victorian era reasons that people made hair jewelry, it's something that honestly didn't even occur to me until I had clients start to ask for it for these reasons. Number 7, pet mementos. Living or deceased, we humans love our animal companions. People past and present have been inclined to keep the fur or hair of their favorite pets. I personally have worked with a lot of dog, cat, horse hair. I've also had some interesting one-offs like rabbit, hamster, alpaca. Depending on the length and texture of the hair, there may be limitations as to what I can do, but I've yet to find a type of hair that I can't do anything with, so send me all of your exotic animal hair. I am ready. Number 8, someone got the big chop and for some reason just can't bring themselves to throw it away. Honestly, you'd be surprised how many people I meet who tell me that they got a huge haircut at one point and kept their hair without really knowing why they did it. Again, much like baby's first haircut, these usually just get shoved out of sight in the back of a closet. While it's still on our head, hair is truly the physical embodiment of growth and change. A lot of time and love goes into growing your hair long, and with it, all of the memories from that phase of your life. So with this in mind, it's perfectly understandable why some people have trouble letting go of it even after it's cut. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these reasons resonated the most? Have you ever personally kept someone's hair? Whose was it and why? Drop a comment down below and we'll chat about it. I want to give a shout out to all of my patrons over on Patreon who are helping me to keep the art of hair work alive. Oh, and one last historical little tidbit, which I guess falls under the big chop, but it was not uncommon for a nun entering a convent to ceremoniously cut all of her long hair, and there are definitely examples of hair wreaths and hair embroidery samplers that those nuns made out of their own hair after the fact. Ultimately, humans have saved and used hair for just about anything you can imagine at one point or another. The world of hair is vast and sentimental and weird, and I love it. And if you love it too, then please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss more awesome hair videos. Bye!